Okay, this video is going to be really short. It's going to cover just part of the 2019 free response test. It's going to cover part of number 6. I want to show you why number 5 is not going to be on the 2020 test. And I wish it were, because my classes certainly know how to do these kind of problems. But number 5 is a region, R, that you're supposed to find the area in part A, and R is the base of a solid, and you have to find the volume there, and then you have to write an expression if you rotate the volume around the line y equals 6. And of course, we've done all of those kind of things in class, but those kind of problems are not on the 2020 test. So you don't need to be studying areas and volumes and rotation about an axis. Okay, so let's look at number 6. Number 6, I'm really only going to work A and B. I don't think problems like part C and part D is going to be on the test. Certainly L'Hopital's rule could be on the test from part C, but part D involves the squeeze theorem, which I don't think will be on this shortened test. So I'm just real quick, I'm going to do parts A and parts B. So what we have is, it says we have function g and h. G of 2 is equal to h of 2 and is equal to 4. And then we have the equation of a tangent line to both of these. Okay, and that is y is equal to 4 plus 2/3 times x minus 2. So part A says find h prime of 2. Okay, so if this is the equation of the tangent line at both h and g of 2, then h prime of 2 is just the slope at x equals 2, right? Well, what part of this tangent line equation is the slope? Right there. So let's not overthink this. The slope is just 2/3. Okay, that'd be great. I'd love you to have one that was something like that. Okay, part B requires a little bit of work. It says we have a of x is equal to 3x cubed times h of x. We want to find an expression for a prime of x and then find a prime of 2. So a prime of x, we're going to use the product rule. So it's the first 3x cubed times the derivative of the second h prime of x plus the second h of x times the derivative of the first. 3 times 3 is 9x squared. Okay, so that is our expression. Now let's plug in 2. All right, so that will be 3 times 2 cubed. H prime of 2 we found was 2/3, right? So doink, 2/3 plus h of 2, we know from the very beginning, is 4 times 9 times 2 squared. Okay, so that's going to be 8 times 3 is 24 times 2, 48 over 3 is 16. And then 4 times 9 is 36, times 4 is 144. You're going to be able to have a calculator on the test, so you won't have to do all this in your head. So that is 160. Okay, so that is, those two are certainly doable and worth going over to remind you, about the slope of the tangent line, to remind you about the product rule. I'm going to talk about C for just a second. I'm not going to actually work part C, but just to remind you in part C how to do L'Hopital's rule. So if we have h of x is equal to x squared minus 4 over 1 minus f of x cubed. So we've got a function within a function here. If the question isn't asking this, but I'm just going to go ahead and work a different problem for it. So for example, let's say they wanted you to find the limit as x approaches 2 of this, x squared minus 4 over 1 minus f of x cubed. Using L'Hopital's rule. Now remember, you need to do an LH there to do that. So you can take the derivative of the top and the derivative of the bottom. Derivative of top is going to be 2x. The derivative of the bottom, okay, 1, the derivative of 1 is just 0. So that's going to be minus 3, bring that 3 out front, times f of x all squared times the derivative of the block, f prime of x. So the limit as x approaches 2, we would just plug 2 in there. So it's going to be 4 over negative 3 times f of 2 all squared times f prime of 2. So you might, in this particular problem, you have to figure out what f of 2 is and what f of prime of 2 is. That's all part of it. I don't think you'll have to do that on the 2020 test, but let's say you were given a problem where you were given those values, then you could just plug that in. So that's certainly worth looking at. Part D is a section that we skipped in class. It uses something called the squeeze. How do you spell squeeze? I think that's it. Squeeze theorem. And that is such an obscure problem that I'm just thinking it won't be on the 2020 test. So let's not waste valuable mental energy working on that. So that's a short video, very short video on number 6 from 2019. We'll move on to a different test on the next video. And so have a good day.